do you remember the excitement around those Friday nights though? Because when they do happen now, which is sadly quite rare, there is a real buzz around the occasion. And when I started going in the 90s and the Friday night matches that I would go to, they were, they were Tranmere night, as Mickey Mellon used to describe them when he was manager. Do you remember the buzz around them then?
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, it's slightly different, home from school. Excuse me, Dad would come home, I'd ask you what the team was. He'd tell me to go off. I mean, we'd have an early dinner with us at home. I mean, they weren't meeting anywhere for a pre-match or anything like that. And then they go off, and yeah, there was quite yeah. I mean, it was a terrific buzz, really. Particularly, on the successful occasions, not too much on the unsuccessful occasions when they get beat. I don't know if in the old days, the long stand and the changing room was really round the back of the Kop. So if they got beat or they didn't do, the players had to come off at the side there, which is, I think is now the security area, and they go round the back. So, but the crowd could get on the top of the Kop and shout their observations back to the players and the manager. And I used to go on the Kop with my mates, and I didn't really enjoy watching people having to go at Dad from the top of the Kop after a defeat or something like that. So I'd try and sneak away and get up the Borough Road as quickly as I could after a game like that. But yeah, exciting times. Prenton Park was always a ground which was, shall we say, it was heavy. It was always heavy going, and so and it was quite a long, narrow field in the old days. So Tranmere had some really good centre forwards. They had some wingers. They exploited the width. They knocked the ball forward. It tended to stick, and it wasn't a place I could imagine if you've come up from down south and you've been on a bus all day coming up to play Tranmere on a Friday night. It wasn't a particularly nice experience for them. Yeah, and the fact that they changed the kit, so they're all in white. They're under lights. All of that sort of, yes, it made to an event, and as a result, they had a lot of managers and coaches and media would come along to Tranmere on a Friday night. I mean, people from the BBC, Kenneth Wolferdome, Peter Jones, Maurice Eggleston, they would, because Bill Bothwell knew them and all that, they would come if they were doing a match in Liverpool on the Friday. They come up to the game at Tranmere doing a game on the Saturday. They come on the Friday. Yeah.
You've partly preempted my next question there, but your dad is also to thank for introducing the all-white strip that Tranmere have had since 1962. They first wore it for a game against Lincoln City on the 18th of August 1962, the opening game of the 62-63 season. Tranmere actually losing that one 4-2, but they are now synonymous with the white kit, and he is the man to thank for that. So I'm wondering if you remember him mulling over the change of kit, or if you remember what the reaction might have been like to changing the colour of the shirts. Can you remember what that would have been like?
No, I think he was always something of an innovator. He commissioned someone to devise the crest, and I think he just wanted the club to have an identity that wasn't blue or red. I'd read somewhere that he thought about Real Madrid. Real Madrid was fantastic, but I don't think that was it, part of it. I think he was just having an identity that wasn't red or blue, and being different. It was Tranmere, and I mean, remember in the 60s, Liverpool and Everton were phenomenal, successful. So just being able to get some sort of different identity would be the key thing. And I mean, he was a big one on on the community side of things, I mean, without going on for too long, I mean, the old when they built the new stand, as I would have called it, which is still there, which Peter Johnson said was one of the biggest reasons he decided to buy the club was the new stand, and thought this was the best thing your dad had ever done, was the new stand. So the new stand did allow, obviously, them to do celebrity dinners there, which was the first thing that I mean, they were doing celebrity dinners mainly through Bill Bothwell, but they'd have Ken Dodd, Bill Shankly, Tommy Docherty, Jack Charlton, Bobby Charlton. I mean, they'd have those dinners every month, which were a big thing. But on the other side, they built a social club at the back of the COP, and that was not only a big thing for the community, but it was a big earner. You know, starting the youth policy, they started a bowls club, I think, back there as well. So I think it wasn't just the white kit; it was the fact that having an identity as such that we're different. Yeah.